Ladies and gentlemen, hailing from Cleveland, Ohio, I give you BVO.
Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know. Shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know. Every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know. I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show. This is BVO.
On behalf of BVO Boxing, On behalf of BVO Boxing TV, we would like to thank our sponsor, Raycon. Don't forget to grab your Raycon everyday earbuds, the perfect bass model for premium sound, with active noise cancellation to block out distractions and transparency mode to keep you aware of your surroundings. They're ideal for your everyday needs. Just visit RayconGlobal.com. That's RayconGlobal.com and elevate your listening experience.
You got B3 Picks here at it again. Proud to announce a brand new partnership with BVO Sports TV and B3BoxingPicks.com. Let's go green. At B3BoxingPicks.com, we provide pre-fight boxing picks of the week, but also live boxing betting options so we can make money pre-fight or during the fight betting on the beautiful sport of boxing. Join now, only $10 a week or $25 a month by visiting B3BoxingPicks.com for the membership. Also follow me on all socials at B3 Boxing Picks. Follow my YouTube, Not Another Boxing channel, presented by B3 Picks. And shout out to the People's Network, the one and only Sports Talk Network. Let's go green.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy BVO Sports TV. We in the house, man. We in the house, man. Let everybody know around the world. BVO Boxing is back. We back. Shout out to my man Prize. Shout out to my man Free. Shout out my man Crush. We in the house tonight. And we talking a little something. Today I was reading a Twitter rant and I seen a tank fan just go out of his way to be extra disrespectful to Shakur Stevenson. And I was just, I thought I just was compelled to say, like, all these tank fans bad for the sport because they're not fans of boxing. They're fans of a fighter. And just like the Floyd fans, I remember those Floyd fans who only like Floyd but didn't like boxing. I think they bad for the sport. But what do you guys think about that? About all the tank fans being so toxic to our boxing community? What do you guys think?
I don't think the tank fans are bad for the sport. Every boxer need to have fans. If it wasn't, there's no point of the boxer being in the sport. He ain't got no fans, he can't make no money. So it's just like football fans. I mean, you have some toxic Dallas Cowboy fans, some toxic Philadelphia Eagle fans, some toxic Washington Commander fans. You have toxic fans in every sport, but that doesn't mean that they shouldn't have any fans. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you have some that goes overboard. You can't let one bad apple spoil the bunch. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, but if they don't have no fans, they ain't making no money. So what's the purpose of them being in the sport? So I think every boxer should have fans, whether you believe that they're good fans or bad fans. I mean, some people might think the people that you're a fan of that you're not a good fan. So I mean, everybody got their own opinion.
All fighters have toxic fans. He's not the only boxer in this sport that has toxic fans. They all have toxic fans. They have good ones and bad ones. No need to single out because they all terrible. All the toxic boxer fans of all these fighters are horrible. All of them. And I don't rock with none of them. No matter if we like the same fighters or not. I'm not with the toxic mess. They all got them. So I don't like it.
Yeah, I saw the rant. It was an epic rant. People like that they make me don't even want to watch the daggone sport. But since I'm a huge fan, I got so many years invested in this sport. Like D3 and OG Crush just said, that you're gonna get toxic fans in every sport. There's toxic Cowboy fans, like you said. There's toxic. I'm a toxic Sixer fan, you know. But there's a certain level, you know, and I see people just go way overboard. And I saw that exactly what BVO talking about. I know what he's talking about. That was nasty. Nasty word. Tear down one man just to build up another. That's what I don't like, Crush. I don't like when you got to tear down one fighter just to build your guy that you like or support. That's nasty, but there's no way we're going to get rid of it, BVO. It's always going to be around. And we could be on YouTube for the next 20 years. It's going to be toxic fans wherever we go, brother.
I mean, I definitely agree with that. I guess the thing that's so shocking is a fighter was kind of just giving his opinion about his life, and to have a fan who doesn't know him from anything, you know, just assume that he knows him, you know, speaks about his grandfather. And I just never realized now there is no holds bars. Guys have no civility. They say what they want. Salute to my brother Bruce Gas. They say what they want. And I just think it's sickening because how can you tell a man what he went through that you don't know, you never met? And then on top of that, that young man is probably 20 years younger than you. Like, I can't imagine me going down to the grade school saying, "Hey, man, what you doing? Third grader? Sit down." That's kind of what that's like when you see, you know, men in their, you know, late 40s talking to these young guys like that. I just thought it was out of order, man, when I seen that. It's just, I don't know. I guess it was just shocking to see that fans can feel that strongly about a fighter. I've never
It's
seen that.
borderline kind of creepy, and I'll let D Free get back on. It's
You said
borderline kind of creepy to me, man, because I don't understand. Like, the man act like he act like he knew that man's whole life story. Then he
Yeah.
goes on and on about struggling and all that. Man, listen, you don't got to come from the struggle to be successful at a sport. Most of these NBA player kids are rich kids growing up. They millionaires before they even touch the court, before they even touch college court. So I mean, like, that's me. I can't say that on here, but that's just fanboying out way, just a little too much. Excessive fanboying. That's the word I use.
Yeah.
Excessive fanboying. And go ahead, Free. My bad.
You said he was talking about the struggle that he went through and all that.
Yeah.
See, this is why I don't talk about fighters if I don't know them personally. I only talk about what I see in the ring. I don't know these guys outside of the ring. I don't know what they go through. I don't get into their personal business. I can't say whether the guys struggle or not coming up. I don't know him. I mean, if you saying Shakur never struggled and you don't know him, I would say, name one person that came out of Newark that didn't struggle. Everybody that came out of Newark struggled coming out of Newark. So I just can't talk about something that I don't know.
Right. I mean, that makes some perfect sense. Like, if you know anything about North Jersey, then you know, like, some parts of North Jersey just as rough as some parts of New York. Like Free said, when I went to Newark, I ain't see no green grass nowhere, no yards like where I'm at, where BVO at. I ain't see none of that. So, like, how could Newark is not a, Newark is a tough city, dog. Like, shout out Jersey, man, but that guy, it's people like him that make me just wish they just take their old behinds and just go on somewhere, just go away, get out of the sport, stay off of Twitter. Why are you so old on Twitter arguing with people anyway? I don't even have Twitter, never had it, don't want it because of that. Because people nasty.
This is the reason why me and Crush say we don't care about what they do outside the ring.
Right. I don't either. I don't give a crap what they do outside.
I don't care nothing about what goes on outside the ring as long as it doesn't affect them inside the ring. Now, if he's out here partying and it affects what he's doing in the ring, then
that's different. We're gonna report what we see. Like right.
Yeah. But what he does in his personal life, how he's brought up and all, I don't care about that. That's something that I don't care. When we talk about, I don't care about that because I don't know this man personally. I'm probably never going to speak to him one-on-one, face-to-face. So for me to sit here and talk about what he does in his personal life, that's me overstepping my boundary. I'm only here to report what he does in the ring. I'm only here to talk about what he does in the ring. Now, if he's doing something crazy and it's all over the news, then yeah, we might talk about that because it's a news topic and it's all over the news. But to try to dig up some stuff to talk about, nah, I'm not doing all that. If I can't talk about what he got going on in the ring, then I'm not going to talk about him. I'm going to talk about somebody else. I'm going to talk about somebody else. I'm going to leave it alone because I don't go around. And it's almost like when you used to tell your girl or your significant other, hey, if you go digging for something, you're going to find something that you don't want to find. So I don't go digging around people's personal lives and all that. I don't want nobody digging around in my personal life. I got stuff that I don't want people to know about. So why would I want to dig up their personal life? And that's something that I don't care to report about. Let that man have a personal life. It's bad enough that he get news cameras put in his face every time he walk out on the street. Let that man have a personal life.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. But there's a certain thing, like you said, there's stuff about all of us up here that we don't need the YouTube space to know about. Let's just be honest. And for somebody to go that far, to make it like you know this man, and then get pissed off when people call you out, it's like, bro, you don't even know this guy. And then you get mad. And then you pop itch and apologize. You know what I'm saying? Like Nas said. It's just nasty, man. Get rid of him. Like, I don't even like that guy anyway.
I see what Mike Rim's talking about. Yeah, now that you could talk about how he's talking, but to talk about his personal life, I think that's going just a little bit too far. Because if you don't know him personally, I don't think you can talk about his personal life. I mean, because what leg do you have to stand on if you don't know him personally? You don't know his upbringing. You don't know his background. You just know about what was reported. So you really don't have a leg to stand on. Everything he's saying could be exactly true. And what you're saying is based off of what you're reading. From people. You got an echo, BVO. Yeah, but I mean, like I said, if you talking about like when he said he gonna go knock people out and he didn't do it, then yeah, you could speak on that because that's what I speak on. I gotta criticize you because you said you was gonna do something, you didn't do it. The same way I did with Devin Haney, I'm gonna do it with Shakur, I'm gonna do it with Tank Davis, I'm gonna do it with anybody. If you say you're gonna do something, you didn't do it, I gotta criticize you because that's something that I gotta be true to. I gotta be consistent across the board. So that you can talk about, but to talk about his upbringing, if you don't know his upbringing, you kind of fighting a losing battle because how can you prove that you're right against what he's saying? You can't really prove that you're right. So you fighting a losing battle.
I agree.
I think on another note, I did want to kind of talk about this. What do you guys think about Tank Davis postponing the fight? I don't think we're gonna get the fight in June. Do you guys think we'll get him fighting Jake Paul before we get him versus Lamont Roach? What do you guys think?
Nope. Jake Paul got a fight already lined up. He got a fight.
He's fighting Junior.
Yeah, he's fighting Julio
Chavez Jr.
Okay, I forgot about that.
I don't even entertain the Jake Paul talk.
Me neither.
BVO, you got an echo.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Go in and come back out. BVO, go in and come back out.
The whole Jake Paul, I mean,
I said that.
Until it happened, I'm not even talking about it because it's like me talking about Canelo going to fight Monster anyway. What am I really talking about? That don't make sense to me. I'm not talking about that. Unless it's signed and sealed, delivered, then we could talk about it. But up until then, I'm not talking about that.
I don't care about it enough. Yeah, I don't care about no daggone Jake Paul anyway. Yeah. And if Tank does that, we're gonna come up here. We're gonna talk. We're gonna do what we got to do. But come on, bro. Like, why are we even got to talk about that? Not for nothing. I'm just saying. Why is Tank even entertain it? That man is weigh him about 150 pounds. That man outweigh him, but you don't want to move up to 40. And you don't want to. I don't know what he wants to do. I'm just.
Hey,
this is nasty, man.
But guess what? Sammy Davis Jr. did an exhibition match with Muhammad Ali.
Well, that's true, but come on.
Yeah, man. That is true.
Yeah, that
That is
is.
true.
If
That's very
Sammy
true.
Davis don't box, he tap dance.
That's very
Yeah.
true.
I'll
But come
say,
on,
I'll
man.
say this though, man. I'll say this though, which is kind of funny about it all. When you see what's going on in boxing, for every good thing you get, a bad thing. I think no matter how it goes, we seen Devin fight Jose Ramirez. Wasn't the most entertaining fight. Richard Hitchens actually said he thought that was the best Devin Haney he had seen in a long time, which I thought was crazy. But I'll just say this: no matter how you put it, these guys got to fight. And I just seen recently where Shakur is saying that Tank Davis should sign with Turkey before they fight, and I just think, at this point, I officially could say you won't see Shakur versus Tank.
Hold up. You said Richardson Hitchens said that was the best he ever seen, Devin Haney?
I
Yeah,
think
that's what he
he's
said.
trolling. I really
I
think.
think-
he's
I
trolling.
think-
No, he wasn't trolling. He wasn't trolling
They
at all.
said that he wasn't trolling, but deep down,
So
I think
hold
that
up.
he's
Hold
trolling.
up. So
I
bro.
still
hold up.
think he was trolling. He ain't-
I do too, Crush.
The Devin Haney versus daggone Cambosis one wasn't better than what we just saw. The Devin Haney versus what's the dude Linares wasn't better than what we just saw.
I thought so.
The Devin Haney versus Loma wasn't better than what we just saw. Come on, man. No, if you think that was the best that you ever seen Devin Haney, I question you as a champion.
I think Africa was trolling, but people was
You
like,
gotta
"No, he's dead
remember.
serious."
You gotta remember. That's how he fights. Hitchens fights that same way.
My point exactly. My point exactly. If you think that was the best you ever seen, I question you as a champion. How long you gonna hold on to that belt? If you say that's the best that you ever seen, how long you gonna hold on to your belt?
Richardson Hitchens, you need to come over to the sports talk. Come to the dog pound and have a good old talk with us about this. I'd love to put you in a hot seat, make you sweat. And I ain't keep sweat either. I ain't talking about this right. Make you sweat. What's wrong with you, son? What's wrong with you?
Hey, I think the funny thing is, it's been times we've watched Richard Hitchens fight, and I fell asleep live on the broadcast. I mean, he's horrible to watch. I mean, I like Africa. He's a horrible to watch. I mean, it's almost
Yeah.
I could tell he wasn't. I could tell he
that.
wasn't trolling because that's how he fights. It's
I mean,
always
the
run.
The last
I
fight
mean, I
that
don't.
we seen, the
Go
last
ahead.
fight we seen. No, I was saying the last fight we seen in Africa that was entertaining. I mean,
That's the first time we ever seen a fight like that ever.
Hey, we can only go by his last fight. I mean, you only can go by the last fight. You can't go by what he did in the past because those were fights that he was getting up to that point. So maybe that's how he's going to fight from now on. So I mean, until we see him go back to what you claim he was doing, I mean, that's the best I've seen. I mean, that joint was entertaining that I've seen from Africa the last time he was in the ring.
When he found out that dude couldn't hurt him, it was over. I mean, that's the thing with Africa. If you can't hurt him, he's not gonna get on his bike. But if you hurt him, he gonna get on that bike. But no matter how it goes, man, I think no matter what, the Devin fight, I didn't think it was the best. Shout out to my man kind of local who called it a master class, but we know how that can go. But another fight too that we're getting to see is hopefully we're gonna see Boots Ennis versus Devin Haney at some point. You guys think it'll be a good fight?
I think it's going to be a massacre.
Yeah.
Devin Haney's not going to be able to fight Jerome Boots Ennis the way he fought Jose Ramirez. He's not going to be able to do it. It's going to be a massacre. Devin Haney is going to get stopped. He's going to get stopped badly.
Devin Haney.
Free. We talking about Black Jesus, man. What are you talking about?
I don't know about this Black.
I don't know about no Black Jesus. I know a black boy named Devin Haney from the Bay Area. I know him. I don't know nothing about no Black Jesus. But that dude that we saw in 2 Fridays ago in the ring with Jose Ramirez, that man is going to get beat badly against Jerome Boots.
Well, what if what if he's on his bike? What if Devin is fighting like using lots of lateral movement like we've seen in his last fight? And what if Boots don't cut the ring off like he didn't cut the ring off against Karen? What if it goes something like that?
It can go like that. Devin's still going to lose badly. He might not get beat badly. He's going to lose badly. He's going to lose every round.
I don't think that's stylistically. I don't think that's a fight. I want to see Devin get back with Ryan.
You don't think you guys don't
see
think
Devin fight Rolly?
Huh?
Seriously?
Tio, I want to see them fights. I don't want
You
to
don't
see
think you can beat Boots?
No,
No,
he don't need to
no,
be. Listen,
no.
no,
And I'm
I
a,
thought
honestly,
and I'm a
upset.
huge Devin Haney
no,
supporter. You know that I've been supporting Devin
no.
Haney since
he
he was on the
do
internet
not
doing.
need to
Yeah,
be
we don't
getting
need
in no
that.
ring with no Gervonta Ennis.
No, I
I'm
don't
gonna
think
say
No,
that's.
it again.
even when Devin Haney was at his best, I never thought he'd beat Jerron Ennis.
He still
I
Yeah.
get
definitely
put in
don't think
his
he'd beat
dirt.
Jerron Ennis now.
Nah.
Not that Devin Haney. No,
He
I mean, I need to see a Devin Haney that's bringing some power and slipping punches and making you pay and doing all those type of things. I don't need to see no Devin Haney that's running around the ring trying to stay away from the power. No, this man, no, the man was faster than Jose Ramirez, and he still was running. He didn't even have to run; he was just running.
He was
didn't
just on
have
his,
to.
he was using a lots of lateral movement, is what I'm
Hey,
going to say.
No,
I think
he was doing
how right.
unnecessary
You sound like
moves,
BVO. I got beat to death. I don't think Boots got it in him to beat Devin, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think he got it in him though, because nothing about Boots showed me that he can really hurt somebody.
Oh
Dog,
goodness!
what are
Nah,
you
you
talking
tripping.
about?
You
We know
tripping.
you trolling.
So
You didn't see what he just did in his last fight?
So nothing about what you've seen from Boots showed you that he can hurt Devin. And what did you see from Devin that showed you that he can beat Boots?
I seen Devin beat some tough guys like George Kambosos.
I said, what did you
Lomachenko.
see that from Devin that showed you he can beat Boots? Because you talking about somebody that's at 135. That's not 147.
What I'm saying is I've seen Devin beat guys way better than Boots. And
who?
Lomachenko.
No,
Lomachenko was not better than Gervonta Ennis. Stop with that.
You got to be kidding, man. You're definitely not. You definitely
get off the. I know you like Wonder Bread, BVO. I know you like Wonder Bread, but
no, the only thing that Loma
y'all
is
can't.
better
Y'all
than,
can't do that though. If that's his opinion, then maybe you disagree with it. But
and I'm not saying he's wrong for his opinion.
Champion,
I'm
man.
just saying
So I don't know
what
what
my opinion is. I'm not saying he's wrong for. I'm not saying he's wrong for his opinion. I'm saying what my opinion is. The only thing that Loma is better than Boots is getting gold medals. That's it. He ain't better than Boots in the daggone pros. Last time I checked, Loma got 3 losses.
Well, you gonna hold it against him, I see.
You daggone right. They hold it against everybody else.
That's tough.
Well, I can't hold it against it. Everybody else, if they get a loss, you hold it against them. I can hold it against Loma.
Well, let me ask you guys this:
who said Loma's above the law? Who said that?
No, you're not. You're not. You're right. You're right.
Man,
but
anyway, class.
I'm gonna say this, Jay Reed. When I look at the landscape of boxing, I think Boots versus Devin will be a big fight in Vegas. You guys don't think that'll be a big fight?
Oh yeah, the fight will be big itself, but
no.
I just don't think that. I think the fight will be big. I think that people will show up.
I just say put him in there. That's all I say.
No, hey, listen. If that happens and Devin got a belt at 47 and he's in the way of what Gervonta is trying to do, then let's get the fight on. But until Devin does that, based off his last performance and based off Boots' last performance, because that's what I go by, then I just think Devin, with that style, if he tries to use lateral movement, I think it would have made, I don't think that'll work out good for him, because when they do exchange, Boots gonna be cracking. And I don't think that Devin is a harder puncher than Boots. Yeah, for sure. If Devin got to be on his A game, though, he got to look like he did against Kambosos or
Devin
Linares.
Bigger than Boots, though. That's my only thing. Devin.
Listen.
Know about that.
I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm gonna go back to the original question. You said, "Do I think it's going to be a big fight?" No, I don't think it's going to be a big fight.
Okay.
I mean, it's not. It's not.
It wouldn't.
The biggest fight that Devin had was with Loma.
Right.
He did 150,000 pay-per-view buys.
Right.
We can't say what he did with Ryan because they never put it out. We could assume what he did, but we can't say what he did because they never put it out. According to Oscar, they didn't make no money. That's why Devin didn't get paid. That's why Ryan didn't get paid. They didn't make no money. So according to what we know on paper, the biggest fight that Devin did was with Loma.
Right.
Jerron Boots Ennis never did anything like that. So no, I don't think it's going to be a big fight. I think it would be a nice turnout far as people coming to the fight, but far as on pay-per-view, people watching it, no, I don't think it's going to be a big fight.
Yeah, I don't think it's a pay-per-view fight. But you know, one thing I wanted to get into, Because I ain't gonna lie, you know, we gonna have a little shorter show than we usually do. Your boy BVO is tired. But I did want to talk about this, man. We seen Shakur Stevenson go on the Breakfast Club, and really, I honestly could say he looks like he's scared of Tank. And I you know, I never thought I would say that, but he looks scared of Tank. Have you guys seen his energy kind of change where he got every reason in the world why he hasn't fought Tank? It's kind of, I didn't realize this is not Tank's fault. Did you guys see that?
No.
I don't know what it is, to be honest with you. I really don't. I don't know if he doesn't want to touch himself, if he got too much respect for Tank, if he's scared of the fact that he doesn't have the strength in his hands anymore. I don't know what it is. But it does seem like he's making excuses why the fight is not happening. But the only thing I can say is if Tank sends him an offer, let's see if he takes the offer. We got to see if Tank is going to send him an offer. If Tank send him an offer, let's see what happens then. If he turns down the offer, then we can say, okay, yeah, he don't want to fight Tank Davis.
Right.
I seen a thing where it was an old interview with Eddie Hearn, and Eddie Hearn was talking about it, and then they kind of spliced it where Bob was talking about it. It looks like Tank has sent 3 offers to Shakur, and I don't know what more he could do. I mean, I gotta give Tank his credit, because what more can you do, man? He did everything he could. I mean, he sent 3 offers over. That's more than enough. I would say. I honestly am starting to think, like, in order for Tank to get a legacy fight, he might have to go to 47. What do you guys think?
Nah, he got food down there. He got food.
No,
he got Lamont Roach. He got to get past that task first, and then he can talk about what he can do in the
He
future.
not beat Lamont Roach. He better stay.
No, I mean, I'm not even thinking about Lamont Roach, because that's not a legacy fight. BBO talking about for him to get a legacy fight. I think, right now the only legacy fights that he have at 35 is Shakur and Loma, and we don't know if Loma's ever coming back. It looks like he's not coming back because they just crowned Raymond Muratalla the IBF champion, so it doesn't look like Loma's coming back. But I think there's some legacy fights for him at 40. I don't think he has to go up to 47. I think there's legacy fights for him at 40.
That brother, you know what's so funny? I was watching a interview with Gary Antoine Russell, and he was talking. And you know what I could say? Gary Antoine Russell has such a great performance. I think he had a great performance, because I heard him on the interview saying, and we don't, give this guy no credit. This piece that bum Teofimo. This guy, Antoine said, I heard him. He said like that, I heard him.
Yeah, he would.
He fight me like that, I heard him. And you know what's so funny? It's been a long time since we could say this, but I believe him. I don't know about you guys. I believe on Antoine.
Definitely. Antoine was
because
great, bro.
He said it so calm. It wasn't like I'm gonna beat him up. He just said, I heard him.
Yeah.
And Gary was laughing. He was laughing.
That's the thing about Antoine. He doesn't do a lot of talking. He gets straight to the point.
Straight to business.
But I've always said I believe Antoine hurts Teo. I've always said I believe Antoine will stop Teo. Will they fight? We'll see in the future. See if that fight gets made. It looks like Teo is looking to get a cash money fight. With Antoine, that's not a money fight for him. So it looked like Teo is chasing the money more so than looking for the best opportunities.
Mendoza did come out. He's thinking about stripping him. So I just want to put that in. He's gonna probably get stripped.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I know the WBO thinking about stripping him. I hope they do strip him.
Yeah.
But like I said, I think Teo's more so focused on getting money fights, especially if what you said is true, that he still hasn't got $1 million payday. And he just went over there and fought on Turkey's card, and he didn't get $1 million.
When he got 900.
If he still hasn't got $1 million payday, yeah, he's looking for a money fight. He's not looking for a legacy fight or a fight to better his resume. He's looking for a money fight. Whether it's a guy like, I don't even think a Jerome Boots Ennis is a money fight for him. It might be.
That's a hell of a legacy fight, though.
Yeah, it's a legacy fight, but is it a money fight? I don't know. Maybe if Turkey is willing to pay the money for it, but I don't know. Turkey just had him, and he didn't pay big money for him on the card. He made him the opening act, and he didn't pay him much. And like I said, this is if all reports is true. He didn't get paid much for that fight, so I don't know if Turkey's going to pay him for Jaron Boots in his fight.
I mean, he couldn't bring ants to a cookie, man. That's the problem with him. He's just not very popular at all. And you know, one thing about Tio, he like a dude who can't keep a job tasting pies, man. It's pure laziness, man. There's nothing about him that's exciting. You know, you got him up there saying, you know, the hard ER, and he said something pretty positive that I thought you can hold on to. He said, if you think I'm racist, don't dap me up and don't ask me for interviews. It's kind of funny. I'll tell you guys something funny. I usually shouldn't say this, but as soon as this stuff went down, Tio hit me back about an interview. Oh, ain't that a coincidence? soon, soon as he in a fire, he met about an interview, but I don't plan on interviewing him, and I don't want nothing to do with him because I think it's a shame that a guy thinks that he's above everybody. He can do what he wants, and you can't. You can't. You cannot. You cannot do what you want. You can't say what you want. You got to pay the piper. Terrence Crawford is one of the most hated men in boxing history, but even he is kind of gaining some sympathy from what T.O.'s has done. So I think T.O. should just keep fighting, shut up, fight Antoine Russell, because if he beat Antoine Russell, man, that's a hell of a win.
Man, he would never be able to do that. He has zero chance to win.
No,
that.
that
I don't. You know what though? I'll be honest. I don't know if we'll ever see that Antoine again. That Antoine we seen was
You
perfect.
crazy. That Antoine we gonna see going forward though, because we got to judge him off their last fight. That Antoine is a monster, and
So
I hate it.
you gonna see Gary Jr. Antoine, a bigger Gary Jr. like we seen last time? I don't believe that. I just don't.
So you saying that his performance was a
Gary
fluke?
Antoine he's hot right now. He on fire right now. He's real confident right
Didn't
now.
Errol look
I would
like
like
that
to see
versus
him
Mikey
get.
Garcia?
I would like to
And he
get him.
never
I would like to
again?
get. He didn't have injuries. I like to. I like to see him get his get back against damn, what's his name? Freezy.
Alberto.
Alberto. Yeah, I want to see him whoop him that guy because he can beat him. Get back. Wouldn't that be a unification free? Don't that guy got a belt? Right. So I want to see that fight next for Antoine. If not, then a big money fight for him. And you're probably right about that, but I want to see him in a big money fight or mandatory, and I think he stops his next opponent, and we're gonna see
Antoine is fighting for the money. Go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
Antoine wants that fight next, but I think they got Alberto fighting somebody else next. But Antoine does want that fight next. Antoine is not really big on money fights. He's more so he want the best competition. He wants the best guys. If you say he's better than Antoine wants to fight him. The money's going to come when it comes. Like, and that was something that I said earlier when we was talking in the chat. I said Antoine and them they came from the mud. They didn't have a lot of money, and they went all over the place to fight. His brother went to the Olympics. Of course, he got DQ'd or whatever, and he couldn't fight in the Olympics. But they went everywhere because their father believed in him, and he put everything he had behind him, and it paid off. But they not on the money like that. They're not on the money like that. They figure the money's going to come. The better the opponent get, the better the money's going to get. So they just want to get the best opponent.
Keep winning. That's what I advise Antoine. Keep winning. Keep doing your thing. You know he's a gym rat, so we don't got to worry about him going up out of shape and all that. He probably just finished working. He probably listening to us. You know what I'm saying? So
they're in the gym 5 days a week.
Can I say one thing about the NBA BVO? Because I know you said it was going to be a short one tonight. I just want to say, can I say something about
before you go? One second before you go, because we know the NBA is rigged. That was the
thank
most
you, BVO. Thank you, BVO.
I
say it too. That's the most rigged thing that I've ever seen. I don't know. Maybe that Chris
another white superstar goes to Dallas.
Come on, man. Come on, man. That man, they jumped 10 spots, dog.
But that being said, we know the NBA is rigged. Well, LeBron James said it some years ago. It is what it is.
Man,
but
Nico,
I'll ask you guys
Adam
this:
Silver threw Nico
when you look at boxing overall, we've seen Errol Spence do the same thing Antoine did versus Mikey Garcia. and we never seen it again. So I get what you're saying, Free, but I'll be honest. I'm anxious to see Gary Antoine's next fight. I haven't said this in a while, especially about a black fighter, but I'm
The
definitely
difference
excited to see his next fight.
the
I
difference
want to see.
between the difference between Antoine and Earl is Antoine is a boxer. Earl was never a boxer. Earl was never a boxer. Antoine is a boxer. So that's the difference. That's the reason why you would see it from Antoine and you never seen it again from Earl, so to speak. Because I saw it again from Earl when he fought Garcia, when he fought Danny. He boxed in that fight, but it wasn't to the same level of what he fought Mikey because it was after the long layoff. But he still outboxed Danny Garcia. But that's the difference between Antoine and Earl. Antoine is a boxer puncher. Earl is a come forward, beat you up guy. He want to beat you up on the inside.
I was gonna ask you this. Is it just me, or it looks like Antoine, or at least Gary Jr. is got him fighting more like Terrence Crawford? Have you guys noticed that? It looks like when you look at Antoine, I don't know if Gary is like copying Bomac's style, but the last few times I done seen Antoine just in general, it come off very Bomacish. I don't know if that's from his dad, but I never really seen him coach the way he did. He's doing a heck of a job. I think he should be coaching more people than just his brothers too. But what do you guys think about that? Do you guys think that he's borrowing stuff from Bomac? Because I'm seeing a lot. I've never seen a guy get this much better in training. Like it's like overnight. It's overnight.
No, he's not.
He was always like that.
Go. I let Crush go now. I go after Crush. Go ahead, Crush.
Yeah, I don't know what you been looking at or what set of eyes you traded your old ones in for, but I don't see nothing in Antoine Russell that's a resemblance of Terrence Crawford, nor the coaching style of Bomac. That's nah, bro. Your vision is blurry. Like Flavor Flav said, don't worry. Your vision is blurry.
What I'm saying is when I see him now, I see Gary Antoine turning his punches all the way over. I see him throwing a proper jab. These are little nuances that you only see with Bomac's fighters these days. I'm just saying, does Gary Jr. know how to do that too? Because I've seen if you look at the punch placement with Gary Antoine, even when he lost to Pulo, which I thought he won that fight, his punch placement was brilliant. I mean, he was smothering his work. But if you look at the little small things of the fight, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm seeing him have a stiff jab, turning the punches all the way over, doing really good off angles. These are like things I never really noticed. I'm just wondering, is Gary Jr. watching, or that's just him just knowing the sport?
Bomac it's not. It has nothing. It has nothing. It has nothing.
Turning punches over. Go ahead, D3.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with Bomac. I mean, you saying is he borrowing stealing stuff from Bomac or borrowing Bomac style? The only way he would ever be able to do something like that, he has to be in the gym with Bomac. They ain't in the same gym. They ain't even in the same state. So no. This is something that Gary Sr. has always taught them. They've always done this. This is something they always did. The reason why you didn't see it from Mr. Gary Russell is because Gary Russell was quick and he had a lot of upper body movement. So Gary
super athletic.
Gary wasn't built off of power. He was built off of fast hands. The same thing like their older brother, Gary Jones. Gary Jones his nickname was Fast Hands. They was built off of having fast hands. It just so happened Antoine was blessed with the power. He was blessed with the power. He still got fast hands. He got foot movement, but he was blessed with the power. So that's why Gary, if you ever hear Mr. Gary tell you, he said Antoine is the best of both worlds. He's better than me because he has the boxing ability, but he has something that I never had, which is the power. Mr. Gary never had power like that. He can hurt you, but he never had one punch knockout power that he can just put you to sleep. Antoine was blessed with something that Gary wasn't ever blessed with.
Okay, well that makes sense. You know what I mean. You know how you just see some stuff different, Chris. I'm just saying I had never really noticed that the punch placement was that sharp like that with them. And I was thinking, like, is he watching Bomac? But maybe you're right. Maybe that's not just exclusively the Bomac.
He
That's what I
been
mean.
had he been could box and do all that stuff. He just chose to go in there and just try to get you out of there, you know?
Yeah.
He
But
selects the war button every time. But in his last fight, and based off his last performance, he showed you that he's best of the both worlds, like Freezy just said.
I want to talk about one more thing before we get out of here. But we'll be back tomorrow. I think we got a special guest, so we gonna be back tomorrow. But I want to ask you guys this. And this is a kind of a tough thing to talk about. But there's a young brother down in Cincinnati, and he did some things because his son was unalived. And I'm just wondering. I want to get from you guys' perspective. I'm gonna start with Free, then we'll go to Crush, then we'll go to my man Prize. But I want to hear you from your father lens. Tell me, like, is it just me, or that's got to be the loneliest place in the world to revenge your son's unalivement, and then you have to sit in the court and you there by yourself? Is that the loneliest place in the world? You guys think? What do you think, Rick?
Um, it's lonely when you come back down because the emotion is built up and you going off emotion. But once you're sitting in that jail cell and you have time to think about everything that just happened, because everything happened real fast. He lost his son and then he turned around and did what he did, and now he's sitting in jail. So
Right.
when he has time to sit back and realize everything that happened, now he's analyzing everything and like, damn, I could have did this a little bit different. I could have did that. I could have did that. I should have did this. But at that present moment, you're going off emotion. So hopefully he got a good lawyer and they could say it was he wasn't thinking in his right mind because of the emotion that was built up.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what type of lawyer he has. But if he got a good lawyer, they might can get him off with a he's not going to get off, but he can get a lighter sentence because of the emotion of the effect of the events. And
The
so
trauma, yeah.
so it's kind of hard to really place yourself in that situation if you never lost a child, because you don't know how you will react. Some people say, oh, I do this, I do that. The truth of the matter is you don't know how you will react. You might sit in a corner and just cry every single day. You might go out there and just drive off a cliff. You don't know how you're going to react because you've never been in that situation. So to say that he was wrong, it's kind of wrong to say, because like I said, you never been in that situation when you lost a child. Now, if you've been in that situation, it all depends on how you lost your child. Now, did your child just pass away from natural causes, or was your child taken from you? That's another thing you got to understand too. His child was taken from him. It wasn't like his child was sick and all of a sudden he lost his life. No, he was taken from him. So that's another thing that you got to put into account for as well, because you don't know how that another person going to react when someone close to them is taken from them. It's the same thing that if you was to walk in the room and see your woman in the bed with another man. Some people say, "Oh, I jump on that and start whooping the dude or this and that." You don't know how you're going to react. You say that because that's what you thinking with a calm head right now. But at that time, you don't know how you're going to react. You might pull out something and analyze everybody in the room, everybody in the house. You don't know how you're going to react.
That's right.
I agree.
You know what I wanted to ask you too, just to kind of add on, almost like as a caveat to this, is that what do you think about how, as a father, you risk it all again for your children? Do you think so many men don't want to be fathers because no matter what you do, daddy's always the one left in the cold? Because no matter
Don't
what we
believe that
say,
junk, Case of Boy. Don't believe that. Don't believe
no.
that goofy.
What do you say?
Shout out Big Dog Willie. Shout out Case of Boy and Mike Ream. Shout out Melon Clean.
Yeah, so my man Willie. I'm just saying this. I almost forgot what I was about to say. But what I'm saying is this: when you see that what happened, Free, isn't it kind of crazy that daddy always finishes last, or that's just you think that's just part of being a man? We're gonna finish last when we do what we got to do for our children. What do you think?
No, it's part of being a father,
Right.
because it's part of being a father, it's part of being a parent, because you always heard of single mothers. A lot of people talk about their single mother, and there wasn't enough food in the house to eat. Their mother gave the last bit of food to the kids while she sat back and didn't eat anything. It's the same thing when it comes to a man. A man is going to make sure, a real man is going to make sure that there's a roof over his head. If he got to go out there and work 2 jobs and come home and get right back up an hour later, go back out to his second job or his third job, that's what he's going to do to make sure that there's a roof over his head for his kids. And it's just part of being a father and being a man. You're going to make sure that your family's taken care of. You're going to do whatever you got to do. And that's why sometimes it's kind of hard to get on the dudes that's hanging on the corner if that's all they got to make money. It's kind of hard to get on them because I understand what they're trying to do. They're just going about it the wrong way. So it's kind of hard to get on them. But at the same time, he is trying to provide for his family, and this is the only means that he knows how to do it. So it is a catch-22. But at the same token, like I said, a real man is going to do what he got to do to make sure that his family is straight, regardless.
Yeah. Go ahead, Crush, or Prize. Whoever want to go next.
Go ahead, Prize.
Yeah, I want to go back to the poor situation and to the brother out your way. I felt like he, in his mind, he felt like he was standing on his 10 toes, and he did what he did, and I can't disagree with him because, like Freezy just said, I don't know how I got my 22-year-old son. I don't know how I would react if that happened to him. So I can't really say too much. I just feel like it's unfortunate, but you know, that man did what he felt like was what he do. He gonna sit back and think about it like maybe I should have not. But the way he walked out that courtroom with his head high, like, you know, that was tough. You know what I'm saying? But really unfortunate, man. But you gotta stay on your pivot and protect your kids, man, at all costs.
Man, listen, I probably would have done worse. I don't knock nobody for that. I hear people say every day, man. The only way I go beyond them bars, man, if I gotta take somebody from harm my family, and talk about men being protectors. Sometimes you gotta do that. I know a homie that just came home. He's been home 5 years. Did 22 years in prison because his mother boyfriend was putting his hands on. He said, "I'm gonna have to kill this dude, or he gonna have to kill me."
On the live, Crush, on the live.
Yeah, man. Listen, man. I'm a freedom thinker and speaker, man. They ain't gonna keep on changing up words. They can't do that.
It's YouTube, man. It's YouTube.
I know. I know, but they can't have control over a grown man. They can relax a little bit. You be all right. But it's a sad situation, man. You know, and I probably would have done worse. I probably would have tried to go take out a whole precinct. I don't never want to have to be in that position. So that's why nobody should judge nobody if they does that. And that's the way you supposed to move about yours. Because, yes, I'm ready to give my life and my freedom for mine. Don't let me have to go there. Because, like I said, I'll probably do worse.
Yeah,
that's tough.
I gotta piggyback off of what Crush just said. I hear men say this all the time. I don't care about nothing but my family. As long as you don't bother my family, I ain't worried about what you do. So you can't get down on a man for standing up for his family, because he might have did that purposely to set an example for everybody else in his household. This is what you do when somebody messes with your family. You go all out. And I can't say that he's wrong, because that's the way he's raising his family, to protect everybody in the family. So I can't say that he's wrong as a father setting that type of example, because he might be a close-knitted family. Everything in the world doesn't matter except for his family. So I can't say that he's wrong about what he did. I could say maybe he could have tried to do something different, but at the same token, I can't be mad at him, because like I said, I don't know what I would do. I know my kids is the world to me. I know my wife is the world to me. I know for a fact I will lose my mind if I lose any one of my kids or any one of my loved ones. I will lose my mind. But when I lost my father, I didn't go to school for a whole week. And when I went back to school, the first person that said something to me about my father, I went all out. So I know how I am, but I'm not going to say that I would go that far, but I'm not going to say that I wouldn't go that far because I know how I can get. I black out. When I get to that level that I'm ready to throw hands or do something bad to you, I black out. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going to happen until I come back to my senses. When I come back, whatever happened, happened. If I'm knocked out, laying in the hospital, oh well, that's what it was. But I'm a go for mine. So I can't be mad for him setting that example for the other people that's looking at him like, hey, you let them take your family out like that. What you gonna do about it? We don't know what people were saying to him when that whole stuff happened. They're going like, oh no, you just gonna let them do that?
Maybe they didn't have to say nothing to him, Free. Maybe he snapped.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying they did say anything. I'm just saying it could have been people saying stuff to him.
I think he snapped.
That is true. I think
I read an article that his wife begged him not to leave the house. His wife begged him. Well, this ain't no thug. This ain't no thug. This is a working married man whose wife begged him not to go. His wife knew what he would do. So, I mean,
that man probably was sitting in his son's room, just sitting there sobbing, like, man, I can't believe my son is not here. This man just took my son out, and he like, you know what? Nah, I'm not letting this fly. So I can't be mad at him.
I'm not mad at him.
And one thing I will say is that my father told me something I always remember. You know, you got to watch where you at. You got to watch who you hang with, and everybody's not your friend. Thanks. And I think these young guys got to understand everybody that helps you out is not a friend, and everybody who doesn't help you is not an enemy. If I keep hearing about all these kids who who live in the suburbs, like we made a way for our children to live in the suburbs, and I keep hearing about these kids wanting to join gangs, about these kids want to carry weapons. At the end of the day, I remember my father told me this. He said, the least you can do if I'm going to send you to a good school is reward me with a scholarship. Bring me a scholarship back home. And I did that. And I think more kids should focus on doing that. Bring your parents a scholarship home. Stop trying to hang out with niggas and smoke weed.
Just lost a young boy in Philly.
That's not the move. These young dudes always want to go hang out with a bunch of niggas and smoke weed. Man, smoke weed on your back porch.
Yeah.
You know, do like I used to. Wait till your grandma and granddaddy go to bed and light that weed. That's what you do, man. You don't gotta be out hanging out, driving fast, drinking Wild Irish Rose. You know, because being honest, these dudes ain't got no money to buy no real liquor. Most kids is buying junk.
But so I'm just saying, these young boys do got the money. That's the scary part. They can get their hands on just about everything they want because they'll go do something.
Whatever they doing, man. I gotta put it on the son too. Why would you put daddy in that position? Why? Why didn't you love your father enough not to put him in that position? I remember one time I was going through some stuff, and my grandma said, "Why don't you wait till I die if you want to live like that?" And I thought, wow, when she said that was rough. Why don't you wait till I die if you want to live like that?
The bad thing about it is, the TV is glorifying everything that goes on in the streets. Like I was listening to somebody on YouTube, and he was giving his jailhood stories and stuff like that. And the way he was talking, it almost made you say, you know what, I want to go to jail. I'm like, what?
I know what you're saying.
Like, you don't want to go to jail. Jail is not where you want to be at. These stories might sound cool and sound funny and all, but it ain't nowhere you want to be at. But it's the same thing when you look at how they making it seem, hanging on the corner, getting this fast money, this and that. They make it seem like it's cool, but they don't tell you the whole truth. They don't tell you that you looking over your shoulder every 2 minutes, every 3 minutes, making sure anybody trying to take you out. They don't tell you that you're looking out for the police. You're looking out for the sticker boys. You're making sure this drug addict ain't trying to short you. And then you got to go back. You ain't got all the money. You got to go back to the big man and say, hey, I took a couple of shorts. And they don't let you know that, yeah, you might have been short $100, but that $100 is cost you your life. Because those big time dudes, they don't care if it's just $100. They want all their money. They gave you a certain amount, they expect a certain amount come back.
Like, you know, one of the things I'll tell you about life that people don't know when you grow up, you realize, like when you look about a guy from the fictional movie Friday and you think about Big Worm, people said Big Worm was a jerk. No, he wasn't. Big Worm gave his friend $500 of product with no money, with no investment, and all he wanted was his money back. And you know the funny thing about it? Niggas want to run up and play games all day long instead of just doing good business. All the evil that came from what Worm was doing to get his money back, that was all because of what? You know, the guy in the movie, the guy was playing stupid games. And my mom always says something, and I got to give Mama BVO this. She always say, when you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Hey, on that note, man, it's your boy BVO Boxing. It's your boy D3. It's your boy Prize. And, you know, the angriest man in YouTube history. My man, I'm about to say Crown Jewel. My man, Crush the Legend, man. Shout out to Crush the Legend. Shout out to Crown. I was just on the phone with Crown. That's why I thought about it. But man, yeah, we got.
Man, I want his joint, bro.
Say it again.
I'm the
but yeah, we got a big guest coming on Thursday, man. You guys got to get ready. You guys gonna be excited. This big head dude say he coming. I'm excited for him to come. We was live on the phone, so we're gonna have some big guests coming. And one thing I want to tell you, man, protect your children and tell your children, man, stop trying to be somebody that you're not. You nerd. Before I give you a wedge, I got to tell my nephews the other day, hey man, y'all lame. Y'all live in the middle of nowhere and y'all want to be thugs. What are you doing? Hey, I'll be honest, man. I was trying to be a good kid. I used to be so scared that I was dangerous because I was not going to be dominated. So these kids got to understand, you ain't got nobody trying to hurt you. Ain't nobody after you. Stop the games. And on that note, man, shout out to the People's Network, Sports Talk Network, man. Shout out to my man Billy. Hey, look like my Cavs was going home. So we about to be 0 for 2. No Lakers, no Cavs. But my Knicks are still alive. My Knicks are still alive. I just want you guys to know
they getting whooped right now.
And
well, we don't win.
On that note, the NBA is rigged.
Yeah, it's rigged, man. Hey, Cooper, what's his name? Cooper Cup, whatever.
Cooper Flag.
Cooper Flag is going to Dallas, which is ridiculous. We gone, y'all.
He threw him alley.
See y'all in the morning.
See y'all in the morning at 6:30 with Crush the Legend.
Your guy B3 Picks here at it again. Proud to announce a brand new partnership with BVO Sports TV and B3BoxingPicks.com. Let's go green. At B3BoxingPicks.com, we provide pre-fight boxing picks of the week, but also live boxing betting options so we can make money pre-fight or during the fight betting on the beautiful sport of boxing. Join now, only $10 a week or $25 a month by visiting B3BoxingPicks.com for the membership. Also follow me on all socials at B3 Boxing Picks. Follow my YouTube, Not Another Boxing channel, presented by B3 Picks. And shout out to the People's Network, the one and only Sports Talk Network. Let's go green.